Hey, Tracy here with BibleJournalingMinistries.com, and in this video, I'm going to share a review of the microwave flower press Nature Press that I found on Amazon. It is a generic microwavable flower press that I think is trying to compete with the Microfleur. Significant difference in price. So if you want to see how this compares, let's go ahead and get started. All right, if you like these videos, please take a moment to give it a thumbs up. That really does help us out and helps other people see our videos. So I purchased this microwave flower press on Amazon. I think the retail on it is about $15, maybe $16, and I got it for $12.99. Now, the Microfleur has been around for a long time. It actually does have a patent in the USA and in Australia. And this is amazing. I love my Microfleur. So this is the one that I recommend, but it is so much more expensive. I think I may have purchased this for at least $30, although I think the retail is $40 or $50 on the small one. So basically the Microfleur looks like this. It is really heavy duty. I highly recommend it. It's got these two clasps on the side. It's got your base plate. It's got some, some foam kind of, it's not really foam, but it's more like felt. It's got a piece of fabric. Now I added an organza bag that helps me to kind of get the flowers off a little easier. And then fabric, and then it has another felt pad, and then it has another base plate. So basically the idea is you put the flowers in there, put it in your microwave, microwave for a little bit, check the flowers, wipe down your base plates, put it back in the microwave if you need to until it's dried. So that's basically what it does, and it works wonderful. I love it. So I got this hoping that it might be a good alternative. So let's just check it out together. So this one comes with two rubber bands. These, it says rubber. These might be silicone. We'll find out, because if they melt, then we'll know they're not silicone. It comes, where is it made? It's made in China. And I love the color. It comes with some instructions here, the user manual. And it's got purple base plates, which are nice. But I mean, I'm telling you right off the bat, it's not the quality of the Microfleur. So hopefully it works out. These are rubber, so I would not put these in the microwave. I just toss those or keep it for storage if you want to. Okay. So basically what you have here is you have a base plate that, looks very similar to the Microfleur. Let me grab that for you so you can see. So this one has, it looks like 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this has more holes in it than this does. And this is kind of in a circle, that's kind of in a square. Okay. So, and then it has a felt pad. And then it has a piece of nice fabric. And then another piece of fabric, a felt pad, and another base plate. Okay. In terms of the base plate, this is not as thick. It's definitely not as thick as the Microfleur. In terms of size, it's just slightly smaller than the small Microfleur. But, okay. For the price, if this works just as good, then that's awesome. So basically what you do is you take your base plates, you put your felt pad down, okay? You put your piece of fabric down, okay? What I like to do is then get an organza bag, and I cut it so that I can use it between the flowers. Now, I'm just going to show this to you, but I won't do it for the testing only because I don't want to mess up the test. I want to test it exactly as it comes. But what I like to do is, even with my Microfleur, is I'll put my organza bag down, and then I'll put my flowers down, okay? Then I'll do the other organza bag on top of it, put my fabric next, then my felt, and then I'll sandwich it together like that. For this video, I'm not going to use the organza bag only because I want to test this machine out, and I want to test it exactly how they say, okay? So I'm going to place these flowers exactly how I want them to be pressed. And I'm going to do all the same ones because the drying time will be the same if you use the same type of flower. And, you know, you can decide how you want your flower to press, but however you put it in, so however this looks like as I'm flattening this out, it's going to dry like that. So make sure you like it, because if you don't like it and you end up, you know, doing the work to dry it, you may not like the end result, and then why are you doing it? You know, do it so that you like it, okay? So there are my flowers. Then I put the other fabric on top, felt pad. Then I'm going to put the top on it, and then it says to use these bands around it. It says do not put it in the microwave for more than 30 seconds at a time. And do not do more than 3 cycles for each flower. Otherwise, it will lead to a potential fire risk because the flower is too dry. So 1 cycle is no more than 30 seconds. Check it. If it's still not dry, then do another 30 seconds, and that would be the 2nd cycle. Check it. If it's still not dry, do a 3rd cycle for 30 seconds or less. You know, you can do, a lot of people will do 30 seconds, stop, check it, looks good, and then just do 20 seconds. Stop, check it, do another 20 seconds. I'm kind of a little bit more of the time person that just likes to press that 30-second button. So I just press the 30-second button and do it each cycle. But everyone does it differently. So that is how we do it. This is how I usually, would do it, because it kind of reminds me of the microfleur, just catching the sides. But they actually say it needs to be crisscrossed. So it says put the rubber band this way, and then put the rubber band this way. If you do it this way, it says that you will not deform the plates, okay? But if you just do it on these 2 sides, you might deform the plates. So that's what it says. So I'm gonna go ahead and microwave this in our microwave. Once I'm done with the 1st cycle, I'm gonna take the plate off. I'm gonna wipe down the plate to kind of remove the water. And then I'm gonna go ahead and try another cycle until they are completely dry. So let's go ahead and go do that. Okay, so microwave, put the plate in there, 30 seconds. 30 seconds is right there. And I have my finger on the cancel button in case something goes wrong. This is what happens when I do testing, is I don't know, if I'm going to catch this thing on fire or what. You just don't know with products that are not tested. So I get a little concerned. I got my finger on the cancel button if I need to. And just waiting for 30 seconds. All right, it's done. No fire, that's good to know. Oh, no, okay. So I can already see this plate is deformed. Yeah, that's already warping. Yeah, that's no good. Let's check out the flowers. Okay, so as I get this, I'm using something to hold this up so I can do this. you take the pad off like this, and there's some condensation on there that you need to wipe off. So I wipe it off with just a towel, okay? So this is gonna be up close so you guys can see how well it's doing. So it is taking out the moisture, so the pads are working. Flour is nicely pressed. You can see that. Just want to be careful about messing with your flour too much. Okay, but that is nicely done. If anything, I probably only need another 30 seconds. Pulling that pad off so I can wipe this down, okay? I was concerned with warping of the plate, so I'm gonna see if it sits flat. Okay, it appears to be sitting flat, so it might just be my eyes. I'm not hearing it like significantly be warped, so let's go ahead and run this in the microwave one more time. Okay, so now I've got it sandwiched in there again. Put it in the microwave. See, it looks like it might be warped, but I don't think it is warped. I think that was just my eyes. So let me close this. 30 seconds. We should be done after this 30-second round. So let's give it 30 seconds. Should be no fire, so I don't really need to put my hand by the cancel button yet. And I could even do 20 seconds. 20 seconds might work fine, but I'm gonna do 30. They look like they were almost dry. But you know, never know. Check it out. Okay. Now, the plate is not hot, and that's nice. So the rubber's a little warm, but the plate is not hot. That is nice. That's a plus. Okay. Set you down here for just a quick minute while I pull off the rubber bands. All right. So we have the platform. We lift the platform up. We always wipe down the plate, so I'll make sure I do that in just a minute. Then we have the felt pad. Then we have our flours that are dry. And then we have our felt pad and the backing. So if we look at these flours, let me just see if I can get one off without ripping it off. It actually worked really nice. So it is dry, the flour is dry, and it can be used in our Bible journaling or our art journaling. Let me make sure the plate is not warped. Just checking. No, it's not warped. Bands are still intact as well. Let me go back to my office and we'll do some final thoughts. All right, I am back. And I'm gonna share my thoughts with you as soon as I take these off of the fabric. Now, to remove them from the fabric, sometimes they just shake off, okay? That's great. If you can get it to do that, that's awesome. But if they don't and they're stuck to the fabric, just take your fabric and just kind of pull it apart a little bit like this. And they will slowly release from the fabric. There we go. So as we look at these flowers, they are dry. They are beautiful. I'm pretty impressed actually for the cost of this tool. Boy, it seems like it does a pretty good job. It does pretty good. Some other thoughts. So, you know, I'm going to keep mine because, you know, again, I paid $13 for it and it works. And so there's no reason for me to return it. I did have some concern with warping of the plates. And I do see There is a little bowing in the middle, but it's still gonna work. So I'm gonna keep mine. One thing I was wondering is, can we use the microfleur clippies with this instead of these bands? Like, because I feel like these bands are gonna fail quickly. I don't know how long, but eventually they will. Maybe they won't. I don't know. Maybe it's just me being concerned. Okay, but can I use the microfleur holders? So you can't use the holders just like this. However, should you decide to add additional chamois, which is what I do. So what I do is I will, when I'm working with my microfleur, I always put an extra chamois in there. So what I would do is put 2 pieces of chamois. These are just from the Dollar Tree. And that it just helps with pulling out that extra water that's from the flowers. Okay, like this. And then I would put my flowers in there. No, I would do my organza bag. And then my flowers. Like so. Like so. Might as well do another set while I'm just sitting here filming, right? Like that. And by the way, if you dry flowers together, don't let them touch each other, because if they touch each other, they're going to be stuck to each other. It's kind of hard to get them apart from each other once they're stuck to each other. You can do it, I've done it, but it's just better to give them enough space to begin with. You'll probably be happier not having to figure out how to de-stick flowers to remove flowers from each other. So here's my huge sandwich. I'm gonna go ahead and see, can I use the microfleur here? Yeah, I can. I'm gonna go run this in the microwave. I've got my microfleur edges to this. I'm gonna go run this in the microwave and I'll be right back and we'll look at the results, okay? So I don't have much warping. That's nice. That's positive. By the way, if your rubber bands go bad on you, or silicone bands, I'm pretty sure they're silicone. Otherwise, I'm pretty sure they would melt. If these go bad on you, I have seen these for sale at Microfleur's site for $5.99 as of this recording. So, you know, that is an option for you if you want to buy this and then your bands eventually go bad. Because I think that would be the first thing, actually one of the first things that would go bad. Probably what the first thing that would go bad is your fabric, because that's usually what goes bad in the microfleur. Okay, so there's my felt. Again, this is just a Dollar Tree chamois. So Dollar Tree chamois. You can see a hole being burned into the fabric right here. And that happens as well on the microfleur. So this isn't unique to this machine, because I mean I have burned flowers before. All right, and then we have, my paper must have, let me move this out of the way. My fabric folded over, and so that exposed the chamois, and now the flowers stuck to the chamois. So you try to do things that help you, and then it ends up not helping you. So there we go. All right. Trying not to damage the flower too much, but it is really on there. It's stuck on there. Oh well. Okay. And then I just pop these off. It's just easier for me to use this bag usually, but this was working so well without the bag. I think the material was fine, that you probably don't need the organza bag. I've not had this kind of problem though with my microfleur. I have, so what I'm saying is I've got some burn holes in here in this piece of fabric, but I didn't have any burn holes. And I've done this, I've actually used the microfleur to microwave for 90 seconds, like 30 seconds and take a break, 30 seconds and take a break, and 30 seconds, take a break, and I've never had this fabric burn. Yeah, it's not burned through at all. And I use the same setup, but this one has a hole in it now. So that is a bummer. That is a bummer, but it's just a piece of fabric. To me, this feels like a lens cleaner cloth that you would use to clean off your computer or your eyeglasses. So if you needed to replace that, you could, or just grab a piece of fabric. It'll work just fine. Microfleur, with my purchase, I was able to get a bonus pack. They actually sent me a bonus pack of the felt pads and of the fabric. So that's a bonus. I mean, again, the microfleur does run, you get, you know, this minus my organza bag. That, don't use that if that scares you or you don't like it, don't use it. Just do what they tell you to do. I'm just showing you what I do. And I've had a lot of success, so that's what I do. The microfleur is such a heavy duty, nicely made piece of equipment that I mean, I think this is running $39.99 right now on Amazon. And it is such a good one. And I just, like, if I am recommending anyone, obviously I'm going to recommend the very best. But if you do have budget constraints and just want to try out this before committing to something big like that, I did check the price on this on Amazon today, and it is running $16.99 now. So when I bought it, it was cheaper, but you know, inflation. But I gotta tell you, these plates, they look like they're warping already. See? They're warping already in the middle. So, I mean, I guess what I would do if I continue to use it, and I'll continue to use it, and the same, I'm going to use the rubber bands like they tell me to. By doing that, that's going to help, you know, by doing what they say to do. So you put the rubber bands down and you do it in that crisscross fabric fashion. Okay. That's going to hold that middle in really well for you. So if you do get warping, it's not going to be too bad initially, but maybe over time. But yeah, you can see. So that's why they tell you to do it this way. But what I would do if my bands broke, I would get a couple of these little microfleur for $5.99, these extras. I would build the sandwich like I told you, like the way I would do it. So felt, chamois, fabric, flower, fabric, chamois. And then the felt again, and then this. So that's going to give you enough thickness to be able to use the microfleur edge. And then I would clip it this way, okay? And then I would run it in the microwave for 30 seconds, take it out, look at it, and then change the clips to this way. And if I had to do it again, I would just keep rotating the sides. And I think that would help. But, you know, that's if my bands broke. If my bands didn't break, then great. I would use their plan, which is their instructions. I would remove my chamois, remove Tracy's chamois. Okay. And now I have felt, fabric, flower, fabric, felt, top of the sandwich. And then I would just, you know, use theirs. I suspect the first thing that's going to give is the fabric, than the rubber band or the silicone band. I guess you could also look to see, can you buy silicone bands and you could maybe even add more silicone bands to keep this for a longer time. And as long as this doesn't get too warped, it should be fine. So I can see this thing even bowing a little bit more, and still by adding, you know, either a chamois or, you know, felt pad or whatever, you can make sure that it still stays compressed and somewhat flat. Or just by adding even more silicone bands, it should stay flat. But warping is going to be a problem. So again, if I was going to tell you, like, okay, if you have like unlimited budget, oh, go get the Microfleur. You're going to just be so delighted. Buy this one. It's amazing. It's on, you know, Amazon, $39.99. But if you are budget conscious, or you're not willing to commit to the Microfleur, then yeah, for $16.99, I would use this. It would still be probably cheaper than continuing to buy dried flowers for your projects over time, because these dried flowers can get really expensive over time, you know, but it does a really good job. I'm really happy with it. So yeah, probably give it 3.5 to 4 stars. Closer to 3.5 probably. Again, that warping is just bothering me. I mean, you can just see it. You can just see it. The warping. You can see the warping in the middle, and this is brand new. So I mean, that's kind of bothering me a little bit. But again, if I wanted to get into dried flowers, you know, you can't beat, you know, $16.99. Maybe you'll be able to get it on sale. Yeah, I would give this 3.5 stars probably. I am a little concerned as we're talking about there actually is, it feels like there's some scratching going on along here as well. That is concerning. Those look like stress fractures right here. So again, it could also be, I think it's stress fractures. I think they're stress fractures here along the edge. So that's concerning. All right. I would probably have to knock a star off for that as well, just because I'm concerned about the amount of times you're going to be able to use this before it completely just breaks on you. It seems like a great idea. I'd have to run it multiple times to see how many times you could get use out of it before it failed. But let's say I would hope you'd get at least 17 uses out of it. And if you could get the 17 uses out of it, that would be $1 per use. Before you decided to upgrade. Boy, that is a lot harder now that I'm seeing the stress cracks to even, I mean, I'm thinking this is like a 3-star or 2.5 stars now that I'm seeing that. That's disappointing. I didn't actually see it until I started putting it away and ending the video, but now I'm seeing it and I'm like, that's a stress crack. Yeah. I can see this thing probably failing within, so I used it twice. I got a stress crack. Boy, you'd be lucky to get 100 uses out of this maybe. Okay, so what am I gonna say now? Yeah, I mean, I guess they're glad they didn't give it to me to review for free. I know they have been giving some of them away for free, but I don't like to, you know, sometimes I just like to buy things so that I just don't have to worry about, you know, making people feel bad. I know I've had some companies that ask me for a review and I'm like, oh, I don't like your product. So sorry. Okay, so here's what I'm going to say, and we'll just take it for what it's worth. If it's me, I am going to save my money to buy the Microfleur, because, you know, even though I got this, I think I bought this for $12.99. It's gonna fail. It's gonna fail faster than this. And will this last 3 times as long? Yeah, I know this will. This is like a heavy duty, legit piece of equipment here. This is amazing. Like, this is not gonna, it's just so well made. At least mine is. So honestly, guys, save your money. If you just like, if you're like, hey, you know, I just don't know if I want to invest in this, and I just want to, you know, invest in this first just to see if I even like drying flowers, you know, I would say put your flower in between 2 pages in the book and just do it for free that way. Don't go into microwaving flowers if you aren't sure you like flower pressing, because I hate for you to buy this and then it fails on you. You know, you're paying $17, you know, if it's $17 and that's retail price and this is $40, or even if this goes up to $50, you're still paying a third of this cost, but this is gonna last. And I just think you'll be disappointed with this. But if you want to try it and you just, you know, hey, I want to play with it, and I know that it's going to break and it'll have fractures and things like that. Or maybe you think, you know, Tracy didn't do a good enough job. Maybe, you know, because she added the chamois in there and used the edges in her testing, that, you know, she could have done something better. Therefore, I'm going to try this. Hey, you know what? Try it. If that's what you want to do, try it. Do what works best for you always. I'm just here to kind of give you ideas and share my thoughts with you. And I would save up to buy the Microfleur. So I hope this was helpful to you. Please give it a thumbs up and share it with a friend if they're interested in maybe purchasing one of these things. And I hope you have a very beautiful day. Goodbye.